The night on Kurukshetra was deep, heavy with the weight of countless hearts. The fires of the camps flickered like dying stars against the vast dark plain. Spears gleamed faintly under moonlight, armor lay in silent rows, and every breeze carried whispers of fear and destiny. In the golden chariot at the heart of that sleeping battlefield, two figures glowed faintly: Arjuna, the warrior torn between duty and despair, and Krishna, the divine charioteer, calm and eternal. Arjuna sat with his bow across his knees, eyes searching the dust beneath his feet. His heart was troubled. He had heard of sacrifice, of duty, of knowledge. But something still eluded him, a truth deeper than reason, something beyond all these rituals and words. At last, he spoke, voice trembling with wonder and weariness. Krishna, you have spoken of many paths, of yajna, of action, of knowledge. But tell me, what power does knowledge truly hold? Can it free a man from all bonds? Can it burn away sin as fire devours the night? Krishna looked toward the horizon, a thin silver line where the first hint of dawn touched the earth. His golden robes shimmered softly in that light. Yes, Arjuna, he said, voice like the quiet thunder of eternity. No offering, no sacrifice, no ritual compares to the power of knowledge. For all actions end in knowledge, as rivers end in the sea. Arjuna lifted his gaze slowly. His heart stirred, as if the world itself leaned closer to listen. The dawn broke in red and gold, spilling over the chariot like liquid flame. The vines carried the scent of dust and destiny. Krishna turned toward Arjuna, his eyes calm, deep, limitless. Arjuna, he said, know this, even the purest sacrifice finds its perfection only when guided by wisdom. Rituals may cleanse the hands, but knowledge purifies the soul. Arjuna frowned slightly. Then, Krishna, all these rituals, all these fires, chants, and vows, are they less? Do they not reach the divine? Krishna smiled, serene yet knowing. They reach, Arjuna, but only so far. A man may offer fire to the gods, yet if ignorance still binds his heart, he remains within the circle of rebirth. But when knowledge burns within, then every act becomes divine. That flame consumes the ego, and only truth remains. The wine stirred, the 4 white horses stamped the ground, their manes catching the rising sun. Arjuna's silver-blue armor flashed with light, as if mirroring the dawn. Tell me then, he asked softly, what is this knowledge? What does it make a man see? Krishna's eyes gleamed like stars over an endless ocean. It makes him see the one, Arjuna, the undying self that lives in all. He sees me in every being, every breath, every movement of the world. And when he knows this, he is never again bound by sorrow or illusion. The chariot stood still in the middle of the battlefield. Around them, a strange stillness fell, as if time itself held its breath. Krishna's voice deepened, carrying through that silence like music made of truth. Imagine, Arjuna, he said, a sword made not of steel, but of light. A sword that cuts through darkness, through ignorance, through fear itself. That is the sword of knowledge. One stroke, and every chain breaks. Arjuna stared at him, wonder in his eyes. And where does one find such a sword, Krishna? How does one hold what cannot be touched? Krishna smiled. Through faith, through humility, through service to the wise. Seek the truth with your whole being, and it will reveal itself to you. The teacher appears when the student's heart is open. As he spoke, the air around him seemed to shimmer. Behind him, the faint shape of the cosmic ocean appeared, endless, radiant, rippling with stars. The ignorant, Krishna said softly, move like men lost in fog. They act without understanding. They stumble in desire and fear. But the man of knowledge walks in sunlight, free from illusion, untouched by sin. Arjuna felt a warmth rising within his chest. Something ancient stirred, a memory of light, a whisper of eternity. The sun was high now, casting long shadows across the plain. A breeze swept through, scattering dust like gold powder. Krishna's gaze rested gently on Arjuna. Even if you are the worst of sinners, Arjuna, even if your heart is heavy with 1,000 wrongs, knowledge can burn them all away, as fire turns wood to ash. Such is its power. Arjuna's breath caught. All of them, Krishna? Even the darkest deeds? Yes, Krishna said, because knowledge does not judge. It transforms. When you see truth, sin cannot survive, for sin is born of ignorance. And when ignorance dies, darkness ends. Arjuna bowed his head, overwhelmed. He could almost feel the fire of that truth flicker within his heart. Krishna, he said softly, then this world, all its fear, its sorrow, its struggle, it is but a shadow cast by ignorance? Krishna's smile was tender. Yes, Arjuna, the self is ever pure, ever bright. It is ignorance that veils it. But once a man sees with wisdom, his world becomes light. He moves through joy and grief alike, untouched, for he knows he is not the doer, but the witness. The words struck deep. Arjuna closed his eyes. He felt the weight of battle, of fate, of his doubts, all like a shell beginning to crack. The golden light of afternoon bathed the chariot. The field shimmered like an ocean of bronze. Arjuna opened his eyes and found Krishna watching him. Patient, radiant, infinite. Krishna, he whispered, if knowledge is so great, why do so few seek it? Why do men still cling to ritual and comfort? Krishna looked toward the horizon. Because knowledge demands surrender, Arjuna. It asks the heart to bow before truth, to let go of pride, of possession, of self. Few can bear such nakedness. Arjuna nodded slowly. Then the wise man, the Jnani. How does he live? Krishna's voice grew soft, almost melodic. He lives as the ocean receives the river, accepting all, attached to none. His mind rests in stillness. He sees no friend or foe, no gain or loss. His actions flow from compassion, not desire. For him, knowledge and being are one. As Krishna spoke, Arjuna saw it, the vision of the Jnani, a figure radiant as the sun, walking through life untouched, his eyes reflecting peace beyond all worlds. Wherever he went, flowers bloomed, and storms grew silent. Arjuna whispered, how wondrous! Krishna, how free! Krishna smiled. That is true freedom, Arjuna. The freedom born not of escape, but of understanding. The day had begun to wane. Shadows lengthened, the air turned cool, and the battlefield glowed under the descending sun. Arjuna looked upon Krishna no longer as mere friend or guide, but as the eternal flame itself. Krishna, he said softly, you have shown me that knowledge is the truest weapon, the purest fire. But tell me, how shall I keep this flame alive within me? Krishna's eyes shone with infinite calm. Through faith, Arjuna. Through constant remembrance. Doubt is the thief of peace, and ignorance its shadow. Strike them down with the sword of knowledge, and you shall stand free. Arjuna breathed deeply. And if doubt returns, then seek again. Krishna said gently, ask, listen, learn. For even a little knowledge destroys great fear. But one who doubts, he perishes within. Therefore, let faith be your chariot, and truth your reins. A long silence fell. The sky above turned crimson, then violet, then gold again. The chariot stood like a bridge between heaven and earth. Krishna's final words that evening echoed through Arjuna's heart. Arjuna, knowledge is the light that no darkness can touch. It is the eye of the soul. When you know me as the truth that lives in all beings, when you see no other, then your battle will end, though the world may still roar around you. The wind rose softly, brushing the edges of Krishna's golden robes. Arjuna closed his eyes, and for the first time since the war began, he felt no fear. He opened them again, and the world was transformed. The armies, the weapons, the dust, all seemed bathed in light. Every face reflected divinity. Every heartbeat the same rhythm. He turned to Krishna and bowed deeply. "My lord," he said, voice steady and full, "the fog has lifted. I see now, not enemies, but souls. Not war, but awakening." Krishna's smile was like Sunrise. "Then rise, Arjuna. Let wisdom be your weapon. Let your faith be your shield. Act, but act with understanding, for knowledge has made you free." The white horses stirred, the reins tightened, and the golden chariot moved once more into the waiting dawn. And though the world still thundered with battle, within Arjuna there was only light, the radiant sword of knowledge, burning without end.